gonna use the Canon R5 throughout the day, and obviously I'm using it for work right now at this moment, but I think we're gonna go take some street photos with it as well, and maybe some portrait. I can't really promise that yet, so yeah, we'll see about that. But just look at the views over here. Imagine living here. I think this is like $5,000 for 2 bedroom and 2 bathroom, perhaps. I could be wrong, but by the way, how's the wobble test? I have the firmware 1.6 right now, and this is with the internal stabilization as well as the lens stabilization. Okay, and now I have the lens stabilization turned off, and let's see if the wobble is working. Like, I don't know, it's probably worse than
Have a good day.
You have a good day too. Thanks. So I haven't been taking out my Canon R5 for like a casual photo walk. I mean, I use it almost every day for work and stuff, but nothing like casual and fun. But I want to use it more often, like more than just work. You know how you just use one gear and just for that specific thing over and over again? It gets boring and dull, and I don't want that to happen with the Canon R5 because it is arguably one of the most rounded camera that I have ever used, and it's a really capable camera. With the Canon R5 I can experience other focal length and just play around with other kind of lens. Don't get me wrong, it's really fun to shoot with one focal length all the time, but it's also fun to try out different focal lengths, you know, get that creative juice flowing. It is super hot out here today, but I think I found a really interesting street that I can possibly use the 50 and just go around the neighborhood and take photos. Shot is a bit too tight over here on this side. God damn, look at that truck. Only in Texas. I think I can see a light in there. I feel like my GoPro battery is about to die again. I've been going through these batteries like so quick nowadays. Size form factor, the 50 nifty, it's really good. It's very small, and I love the grip. Can't go wrong with this kind of grip. So I feel like the 50mm works really well, especially on big streets like this in Houston. Everything is so far apart with lots of cars. There's like 5 lanes in between these two sidewalks. And the 50 just works really well in this kind of situation because I don't need to step backwards, forward, or anywhere. It just works. For example, look at this Kung Fu bar. Okay, I'm having a little bit too far. Oh, I know, it's okay. It's actually really nice. And I bet it looks really good at night. And the battery on the R5 is really good too. I mean, it's not like as good as I feel like the R is, but most of the time I have the flip out screen closed and I use the optical viewfinder. Well, it's not optical, it's like more like an electronic viewfinder. I just leave it on. Whenever I need to take a shot, I just pull on and get a shot. So I wasn't able to find a friend and just go shoot a couple portrait photos today. By the way, have you guys ever tried the Coke coffee? Actually, no, vanilla Coke coffee. It's actually a thing, apparently. It tastes alright. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you take a look at the photos that I took of my friend Jen the other day in the previous video.
What is that? Oh my god, a bubble gun!
Yeah.
Wow, how exciting.
Alright, I'll take that. Switch weapon. Canon R5 was able to nail the focus on her eye despite all of the bubble floating around her, like even in front of her. And I wasn't even using an RF lens at that time. It was done with the Canon EF85 f1.8, which is a 30-year-old lens. And yes, if you pair up the R5 with the RF lens, it's even better. The autofocus is spot on. Now, when the Canon R5 first came out, everyone was focusing on overheating this, overheating that. Whenever I'm shooting an A-roll shot like this right now, I'll have to watch out for how long have I been shooting 4K HQ before the camera overheats, and then I have to turn it off and wait until it can start shooting again. And at the end, oftentimes I'll just shoot in regular 4K because that's the easiest fix, but still very annoying. But ever since the new firmware, I was able to shoot 4K HQ for as long as I want or need for my shooting style. So that really made the R5 more likable. It doesn't feel as handicapped as before, and the wobble seems to be fixed, but if you take a look at the edge at the corner carefully, you can still see the wobble. It's still kind of struggling there. The Canon R5 is suitable for pretty much all kinds of photography, and the RF lens lineup is fantastic, except that it's way too expensive. Canon hasn't really opened up to third-party lens makers like the Sony did, and I really hope they do because not everyone can afford expensive RF lenses. Despite all of that, the Canon R5 is still a very fun camera to use, especially when you have the shortcuts and the settings ready to go at your fingertips. So definitely go check out this video next if you haven't already. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.